Pushes and pulls. The second I say those two words, you start thinking about a golf ball that's starting to the left or starting to the right. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what goes on in the arms, in the hands. Are you pulling or are you pushing? Lead side, pull. Trail side, push. They work for everybody. Now, here's what I can tell you. What I find is that when I start pulling, I don't necessarily clear. I don't necessarily rotate. And rotation is a big thing in this game. Very, very important. By the way, you know what's also big? Like and subscribe to the channel. We're getting all kinds of information out there, not just on what you're doing with your full swing. We got your short game covered, putting, all of it. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And please share with your friends. Let them know what we're doing over here, trying to help everybody play a little bit better golf. So I want to show you what happens when I take this golf club and I feel like I'm going to pull the handle. There's a couple of different ways that you can pull, okay? You can pull down to the ground here, and you can pull forward like this, all right? So I'm going to pull down first, and then I'm going to pull forward second, okay? So here comes the pull down here, and I'm going to pull down. Now, what you're going to see when I do this is my arm is going to leave my chest, and my right shoulder, my trail shoulder, this here, is going to get exposed very quickly, okay? So here's the pull down. There's a pull down. Now, when I pull down like that, launch angles will tend to get a little bit lower. That one launched at about 17.5. Apexes will tend to go a little bit lower. That one there apexed at about 75. So 17.5 and 75, right? That kind of worked out pretty strangely. But anyway, what happens is that when I'm pulling down, I'm actually getting rid of the golf club, almost stalling the handle when I pull down because it pulls down, but it doesn't pull forward. And so when it pulls down, I've thrown a lot of energy away, and I'm also turning that grip down, all right? Now, on this one, I want you to feel, or I'm gonna feel pulling forward, okay? So this one, when I pull forward, my arm won't open up as much. This trail arm, you won't see this trail arm open up as much. You won't see that trail shoulder and the lead arm. They won't separate as much, okay? This will launch probably a little bit more to the push side as I pull forward. So here we go. Yeah, it moved it a little bit more to the right. It also launches even a little bit lower than that. That one launched at about 14.7. Ball speed would go up. The apex is a little bit lower, and the distance increases. I don't actually mind thinking about pulling forward, okay? I just don't want you to think pulling down. So if you want to pull that way. It's almost as if you're pulling from back there to here, not from up here to there, okay? This is a weak pull. You'll feel it when you pull down like this. It's a weak pull. But when you pull this way, now all of a sudden your body, the lead side of your body starts to pull all of it, and you can generate a little bit more club head speed. Now, what I prefer is pushes. And again, in the push, I don't want you pushing down. I want you pushing forward, which means when you start to push forward, this trail elbow is going to stay bent, and then it's going to push. And what I'm feeling is almost like there's a pressure plate on the backside of the grip, and my trail hand is going to push that there. That will have a whole lot of pressure acting on that grip as I'm pushing forward, okay? It's not going to actually push like it'll push in a circle, but you feel like you're pushing that way. All right, so here's a push down. Again, I'm going to get here, and I'm going to push down like that. This will probably be fat. It'll look a lot like that pull down. Okay, so here, and I pushed into the ground. Now, when I push into the ground, this one's going to launch a little bit left. It's also going to launch a little bit lower. That's 12.5. The reason why is when I push the handle down, I'm actually taking some loft out of that club, because when I push on this end, if this was sitting on a fulcrum like this, and I push on this, that head's going to go up. So when I push down like this, that head's going to stay a little bit above the handle, which de-lofts it. It doesn't do that, but it feels like that's what's going on. Now, this time what I want to do is I want to push forward. Now, what's really fun about pushing forward is when you start to push forward like this, all of a sudden the lower body starts engaging. It's completely different. When I push forward, things are going to get out of the way. My lead hip is going to get out of the way so I can push forward. My trail hip, which is going to supply this push coming out of the arm, it's going to start to engage in a forward direction. And when we start engaging in a forward direction, now all of a sudden I'm going to send my club head speed up, but my start line is going to be much more on the line that I want. My club face is going to be in a much better position, okay? So this time, that ball speed was 111, that club head speed was 75. This is going to be a push forward. So here, and that's a push forward. Now, it starts a lot more to the right. The club head speed goes way up. The ball speed goes way up. That thing goes up to 115. The launch angle jumps up to almost 19. The distance increases. The pushing is really, really good, okay? I'm telling you, it'll generate more club head speed. Now, one of the arts to this, and we talked about this in prior videos that I've released, is the maintaining of that elbow to push forward. If once that elbow straightens out, that's where my push is going. So if you feel like you're straightening your elbow over here, the pressure is all going there. If I have the elbow pushing and the pressure going that way, it's now going in that direction. But when I push the grip in that direction there, almost parallel to the ground, that's when I all of a sudden create a lot more club head speed, okay? So now I'm going to push, and I'm going to try to push this so the club head speed gets a little bit higher than 80, okay? So let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that was a really good push. There you go. And I pushed it straight, and the ball's going to go a lot farther. Yeah, come on up to the front. This is really fun, because watch what happened here with the push. Now all of a sudden when I push that trail arm forward, that elbow stays bent and I'm pushing towards the screen here. I get that up to 84. It goes up to 122 ball speed. All that is really good, right? Greater distance carries at 185. But what also happens is the apex jumps up. Even though the launch angle came down, the apex goes up. Why? Because the ball's going faster, the club head's going faster, the spin is really good, and all of a sudden it pushes out and it launches at 18, but it just keeps going up and up and up and up. It doesn't run out of power and drop out of the sky. Now look at that shot, and what you see with that shot is it's hard to get it to go much straighter than that. I mean, that goes pretty straight. So here's what I can tell you. I'm a huge fan of pushing with the trail arm. I want to see the trail arm push. What I notice is that the body starts to cooperate. It starts to behave properly. And you don't even need to think about like different rotations or sliding or rotate or whatever. All you got to do is just think about keeping that trail arm bent, push that palm to the target, and all of a sudden the club's going to start to move faster. The ball's going to start to move faster. And when that starts to happen, when you're pushing like this, the club face itself is not rotating. And when that club is not rotating, now all of a sudden the center of the club face is exposed to the ball for an extended period of time. And when that happens, you hit it in the center more consistently, which takes all the club head speed that you have and it puts it all into that golf ball, and you start getting ball speed. So that's why it's at 84 and 122, because it hits it in the center of the club face. And ultimately what it all matters, like all of it, when it all comes down to the very end, it's all ball speed. If I swing this thing really fast, but the club face is flipping, I'm not going to get the ball speed. But if I can maintain a relatively calm face, not a lot of face rotation, now all of a sudden the face is exposed to the ball, the center of the face is exposed to the ball, and all of a sudden I get it in the center of the face, and now that club head speed that's moving pretty fast is going to be reflected in that ball speed, which is then also going to be reflected in the distance that the ball goes. And again, that's going 185 yards with an apex at about 100 feet. That's a pretty good shot, and a shot that, you know what, you'd be very proud of. I'm obviously very proud of, and that's why I like thinking about pushing that trail arm. So keep that thing bent and extend it right towards the target, and you're going to gain some much needed distance. We all need it. You need it. Tell your friends who need it. This is how they're going to get it. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.